Yeah, happy Friday to everybody. Hopefully, y'all not out in the streets being reckless. You know, uh, tonight I just want to talk about the concept of trust. Um, one thing I find when I speak to people about relationships and things like that is like the trust issue keeps coming up. Um, trust is a difficult thing to maintain. So let's get into it because my phone's about to die. First thing, to have trust issues usually means you had your trust violated at some point. So generally, growing up in your childhood, if you had a reason to be distrusting of family members, of parents, of friends, generally you're going to carry that into adulthood. So when you find it difficult to trust, here's what happens. We're all born with intuition, right? It's a God-given gift. When we have our trust violated, another voice begins to grow, and that's the fear voice. It's what I call the fear voice. So intuition is our higher self, our higher connection to things, to where we can predict certain things. We have a feeling of what's going on or what's about to happen. So intuition is what we are born with. But when we have our trust violated, we grow a fear voice. And so when we start to move through life and listen to that fear voice when we're in similar situations to the situation we got hurt in, we feed that voice. So the more you listen to the fear voice, the more the fear voice grows and outshadows or overshadows your intuition. So that's why you continuously end up in situations with romantic partners who aren't right for you or who connect to that part of yourself. So when that fear voice starts to grow larger than your intuition, you can't hear your intuition anymore. You only start to move with the fear voice. So the only way to really affect fear or to deal with trust issues is to shrink the fear voice so that your intuition can be at its proper size and you can hear it better. But the only way to do that is to slowly and gradually. Kari, what's up, by the way? I see you in here. To slowly and gradually disobey what the fear voice is telling you. So if you have trust issues and things like that, and this goes to just general life, but if you have trust issues and you're working against, you're trying to work against those, in situations where that fear voice would pop up and tell you not to do something or to not, have this experience or to not voice your or express yourself in this setting or with this person, you know what it sounds like. You have to make gradual steps to disobey it. So when that fear voice pops up, you have to be disobedient to it. And not to say that to give up all fears and act reckless. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that if you have trust issues, it's an imbalance. So the only way to rebalance it is to slowly be disobedient to that voice that is fearful. So do the opposite. Just like I tell people, you're working through depression. Depression tells you to isolate yourself from loved ones. Depression tells you not to go out. Depression tells you, to not do things you love and to sit down in the dark room and different things like that. You have to start doing the opposite. As painful as it is, as uncomfortable as it is, you have to do the opposite, and you have to do it incrementally. So do maybe even just, once a week, up to once a day, up to every time you feel that fear voice come in to paralyze you and restrict you from the happy things in life. You got to do the opposite, point blank. And that rewires the brain so that it it diminishes the effect of that fear voice. Because if you're not listening to a voice, you invalidate it. So if you're not listening to the fearful voice that's inside of you, that's in the unconscious, that's kind of causing you to live in this way, uh, the more you refuse to listen to it, the softer that voice becomes, and the more you can hear your intuitive voice, which is the voice you should be listening to every day. So I just want to give that to you. Hopefully, that's helpful. And any other questions, definitely DM me. And shoot, go to the link in my bio. I got a lot of great things right now. The album's available for pre-order. The book's available on paperback, and I'm still doing my digital course starting in July. So if you guys have any questions on anything that I'm doing, or you have any input, if there's anything you want me to discuss on a live that you may be going through, whether that's relationship based, whether that's mental health based, if you need any tips on working out, fitness, nutrition, anything like that, shoot me a DM, and we'll make it happen. I'll definitely make it happen, because I want to address the things that you want to talk about. I don't want to monopolize the situation, but so you guys have a good, safe weekend, and stay positive.